My name is Dan Cox. I'm out in the first district, and now that we've defeated the water authority, and that's not a concern anymore, I think one of the things that needs to be approached here is the fact that all of this stuff operates on trust. There's been a lot of things said back and forth, and I'm going to take those as being directed at me because I don't speak for anybody else. But the fact that there's been things said specifically that I've said things that were untrue. There's also been the implication that somehow there's a silent majority in this county that disagrees with me. Now, that silent majority, I think, is a fantasy. And I think one of the things that's happened here is we've had people who've communicated in a very small group, given very specific information, and those individuals, because they trusted the source, went along with it. And we've had people on this board who said before the vote on the water authority that this was just a vote about a study. That was not just one person in here who said it. It was said by multiple people. This is just a vote on a study. And that was never the truth. That was a lie from the beginning. And that came from somebody in here. And I believe you are the source of that, Mr. Pagriba. You abused the trust of the people on this committee, and you told them something that was false so that they would go along with something that you knew that if the rest of us in the county really knew about, we'd oppose it. When you say that untruths are being said about this law, I can tell you for a fact, and I challenge you, you send me an email tomorrow morning with all the truths, all the untruths and falsehoods and lies that were put out by the people who opposed this water authority, and I will get back to you and I will show you every single way that what I've said and what other people in here have said is absolutely true. If you pass this water authority, if y'all had passed, thank goodness it's not something we have to worry about anymore. If y'all had passed that water authority, then we would have a 5-member committee that could hire their own executive at a salary that they decided, and that 5-member committee would not answer to y'all at all. They wouldn't have, you could jump up and down and scream and yell all you wanted. They would never answer to you. They're an independent authority. And that is straight in the legislation. They're an independent authority. They have their own taxing authority. And this is one of the things is that this is the indebted big county real estate development plan. That's what that is part of. And on that kind of thing, I've mentioned this plenty of times, real estate development is not economic development. It provides a short-term burst of economic activity, but then the cost ends up falling back on the city and the county. And I don't know if y'all took any look into this, if you did any research, but for every new person that comes in and buys a new house that was previously unoccupied, for every $1,000 of new tax revenue that they bring in, they demand $1,250 of government services. So there's no way to catch up on that. If every single new person that's coming in on a house that's being built is costing the county an extra $250,000, how are you going to make that up? You can't. What we need to do is we need to figure out ways to do economic development with what is already in Humphreys County. And there are plenty of resources here. We just heard from some really good resources that could give us some great directions to move in to really build Humphreys County into something where we don't have to bow down to what all the other economic development models say. I mean, unless y'all want to be Dickson County, I don't see any benefit to it. I don't like Dickson County, and they're not stopping. Dickson County has $40 million in debt right now. The counties that I came from, there's not a single one of them that has less than $200 million in debt, and they're constantly passing new taxes. Sales tax here, sales tax there. If we're not going to figure out a way, and I say we, You know, if we're not going to figure out a way to do something where we can start taking some of the costs that are on the county and put them into private enterprise, we're going to be behind on this all the way along. And one of the other things that I want to mention too is when the school board comes up here to y'all and starts talking about that they need more money. I was not aware of this, and I don't know, maybe all of y'all are aware of this, but the school board has a budget of about $44 million. So when they come and they ask y'all for more money, I think the appropriate question would be is, how did you spend all the rest of that money, and why are you coming to us? $8 million is what the county, right, somewhere around there, Mr. McGreeba, $8 million. That's what the county is on the hook for, and every single time that their maintenance of effort is increased, that's a burden that this county doesn't really have the means to maintain. Anyway, thank you for your time.